This video is about the basic commands that you will be using throughout your career for data science, and I'll be able to take you through telling you what each command does, and we move from one to another. Command I want you to learn is pwd. It stands for print working directory. So pwd, if you want to know which directory am I working in, where is my location within the machine, do pwd, press enter. It tells me that I am under home Isaac. That is where I am right now. That is where I am working. Print working directory. Okay, another command, basic command is ls. ls, it lists the contents within the directory. Right now, my directory is home. Under home, I am within Isaac. So what are the components of under Isaac? I do ls. ls will display the components under Isaac. Now all these are the information under Isaac in there. Yours may be in different colors and the rest. Me, it is colored due to the settings that I performed. The question is, again, this ls can be modified. You can be able to find out other information about these different items, because from here you can't tell, are they folders or they are files? You can't tell. What are their sizes? You can't tell from here. They have executable rights upon them. Okay, which type of file is it? Is it executable? It's a normal file. You can't tell from here. So you can modify this ls. You can do ls minus l. If you do ls minus l and then you press enter, it will be giving you much more information about the files in there or about the folders in there. We are going to explore later in later videos what each of them does, but from here, basically D, if it starts with the D, that stands for a directory. If there's an error, that means that you can be able to read, write, and then run it. You have the rights to do anything with that given folder. Directory, same as a folder. I could call it a folder. Let me call it a folder. If you have this, for example, this file, this is the file name here. This was the directory name, because we have already seen that it is a D, so that is a directory. Components under that directory, 5, the user, that, the estimated file size in terms of kilobytes is that, the time, the month it was created and the date it was created and the time it is displayed there, then the name. Let's look at this one. If you look under D here, it's minus, meaning it's not there, meaning this is not a directory. It's not a folder, not a directory. R, you can read the contents in there. Right, you can modify the content in there. Executable, no, it's not an executable file. It's not a program, so you cannot execute it. So that is that. So that is that component inside that file. This other one we will later explore in detail, but these are like the user rights. What can you do? Whereas that file has all these properties, but you, as you have logged in, what can you do with that file? One component, this estimated size, date of creation, and all that. So that is what ls minus l can do. You can also do ls space minus a. It just display all the components within the directory, including the ones that were hidden. Because if you look at here, all the things we were not seeing, .sudo, .ss, those are called hidden files. If we did, the time we did ls only began from here up to here. Those are the only items that it gave. So some other files remains hidden. But if you do ls minus a, you're saying display all, including the hidden files. So these are so many. If you like it's much more than what we had initially placed the other side. Okay, let us clear our screen to give us more space. Another basic command that I want you to try is let's see, mkdir. This one stands for make directory, create a folder. If you want to create a folder using the Linux terminal, you use mkdir, but you need to give it a name. So today, let us give it a name, people. Let me write in capital letters, people. So that is the directory. No, in fact, let me change. Let me call it Linux lesson without any space. Linux lesson. If you tap enter, it will have created. Do you want to prove whether it is there? Do ls small letters. If you do ls small letters, you should be able to look for and find Linux. Where is Linux? Linux lesson is here. Linux lesson is there. And if you want to check whether it is a directory, because you created a folder, make directory, create a folder. I do ls -l, for example. Sorry. You know the problem here, ls, I didn't put a -l, so that command was wrong. So ls -l. Okay, so I want to look for Linux lesson. Where are you? The Linux lesson. Where are you? Where are you? It's here. If I look at it, it begins with a D, so that is a directory. So that is how you create a directory. Now, what if you want to be inside that directory? Remember, if you do pwd, print working directory, as we already talked about, it shows you the folder you're working with. I'm working inside the folder Isaac, which is found under home. But let's say I want to go inside the Linux. I want to go inside the Linux lesson. So what you do, you will do cd, put a space, then type Linux lesson. Make sure it is the same word, and then you press enter. That one, it will take you inside the Linux lesson. How do you know you are inside there? Just look at where you are first of all. Then you have this inside Linux lesson. Initially, it had stopped in Isaac. Right now, we have gone up to Linux lesson. That's when we have the $sign. After the $sign, that is where we have to write our commands. That's how you can tell. But you can also do pwd, print working directory in small letters. Here it tells you that you are under home, under Isaac, and you're inside Linux lesson. That is how you go inside a given directory. Let's say you want to come outside. You don't want to be inside. You want to back. If you're using Windows, you do back. So if you're in Windows and let's say you are in a given folder, let's say data analysis tutorial. I'm in data analysis tutorial. So I want to go back to D. Or I'm inside data analysis. I want to go back to data analysis tutorial. What would I do? I'll just do back. Then I would come back here. But so how do you do back? And you go back in another location. There you do cd space double dots. Cd space double dot will be able to take you to the previous directory. If you tap enter, it has gone back one step backwards. That is it. So I'm back in under Isaac. If I do print working directory, I'm under Isaac. So you see that? So you go inside Linux lesson. You go inside Linux lesson. If you do pwd, you under Linux lesson here. If you want to leave Linux lesson, want to go back to the previous, do cd space double dot enter. If I do print working directory, now I am under home Isaac. there is no Linux lesson there. So that is how you go back to your previous working directory. But you can also modify this and then you go into as many directories as possible, either backwards or you can go forward, even cd backwards or forwards. But we are going to do that in later time. This is just a basic concept that I want you to learn. The other basic command that I want you to learn is touch. But for us to work on that, I want you to enter inside your newly created directory so that any changes you're going to make will be inside that folder. So I want to cd Linux lesson. I want to cd Linux lesson, and you enter. There's another trick I want to give you now. It is a shortcut. Let us do cd space. We will first go back to where we are. If you want to enter inside Linux lesson, if it is the only name you have within your system, then as you do cd space Linux, you can press tab. Tab will autocomplete for you the name. It will autocomplete for you the name. Me, I have more than one name that begins with the L. Because me, I have Linux lesson, I have Linux section. So it cannot, but if for you it's the only file you have which has something related to begins with capital L, it will just autocomplete for you. So I'm going to type cd Linux. In fact, this is already unique. Even L capital I, because others they only share capital L. So if I do L capital I, it's really unique. So if I press tab, you see, it auto completes for me. So you can just do cd. Then as you begin typing the name, just tap on tab, it will auto complete. Then you press enter, then you're good to go. So you don't have to type. If the name is long, there is no need of like typing that name each and every time.